Hello, welcome to another tactics video. Today I'm going to talk about platoon tactics. Now, first off, we're just going to say that Platoon 3 has exchanged their Aegis defence line for a set of autocannons to the heavy weapons platoon. Now, one thing that has been bothering me for a long time is why the Imperial Guard never had formations in their codex. Looking at the Space Marines codex, they've got formations galore. You have specific units, they get bonuses. But then the Imperial Guard have always had formations ever since the start of Warhammer 40k. The Imperial Guard have always had formations. I mean, you take 3 Lemon Russ with a tank commander. That's a formation. There is no other army that can give orders to their tanks to make them more worthwhile. I mean, you take a heavy tank, you move it 6 inches, you give it the order to full throttle, it moves another 6 inches plus D6. What more could you ask for to get your demolishers at strength 10 AP1 straight in the face of the enemy? You could also split fire with them, which obviously with Power and Machine Spirit other codexes can do as well. But yeah, there's formations galore. The Imperial Guard infantry have always had formations. A platoon is a formation. I mean, you have an entire platoon off the field in reserve. That's one dice roll for the entire platoon to come on. That's the platoon command, all of your infantry, your conscripts, up to 3 special weapons squads, and up to 5 heavy weapons squads. That's a hell of a lot coming on from reserve. A platoon is technically 1 unit when you are rolling for reserves. So, Grand Strategist. Nominate up to D3 units in your primary detachment to outflank. Now you got roll that 5 or 6. You could have 3 full platoons outflanking. That's a hell of a lot. I mean, you make full platoons. That's 150 conscripts, 150 regular men, 15 platoon command, 3 platoon commands of 5, up to 5 heavy weapons teams, up to 3 special weapons teams. And that's before you start upgrading them with all of their heavy weapons, with commissars, with primary psychers, with priests. That is one hell of a formation. You want to run an entire infantry bound army. That right there is one hell of a tactic. I mean, it doesn't only go for infantry platoons. It also goes for, get this, Militarum Tempestus, stormtroopers with deep strike special rule. Yeah, you heard that. Militarum Tempestus platoon. A platoon command with a 18-inch bubble giving all of your Tempestus squads, all your stormtroopers, a leadership 9, and they can give out orders to the 5 Militarum Tempestus squads of up to 10. You could literally surround an entire enemy army. You could have Militarum Tempestus Deep Strike right behind them. You could have an entire platoon outflanked to their right and to their left, and then have more infantry piling at them from the front. That's a hell of an... that is one hell of an overwhelming firepower. All of a sudden, you rethink. What is an Imperial Guardsman? A squishy, easy to kill man, or a massed blob of death-bringing infantry? Yeah. But then you want to start getting cheeky. Now, you take this tiny little platoon here. It's not a full platoon. It's got 50 conscripts. It's only got 3 squads of infantry, and it's only got 1 heavy weapons squad with their platoon command. You have these men stuck out in the open. Not a good place to be. But then watch this. This is a hell of a cheeky tactic. First off, spread your conscripts out. Make sure they're within 2 inches, so they're still in unit coherency. I'll only do half of it for now because you'll get the idea. But then you just look at the amount of space that this platoon is covering already. Right, so I'll only do half of it. I won't bother with them lot because you'll get the idea. And then you've got your platoon command squad. Yeah, some of you are thinking, yeah, I know what he's doing. That is one hell of a cheeky tactic. And then you've got your heavy weapons platoon. Heavy weapons squad. Mix them all in. Keep them within 2 inches of each other. Shift about if you have to. Looks a mess, doesn't it? And then you got your regular squad. As I say, I won't bother doing the whole lot because it could take time. But then, okay, I'll just leave it at that. But then look what I've done. Out in the open, platoon command squad in the middle, heavy weapons squad mixed in with the conscripts, the platoon command and the regular infantry. The regular infantry are mixed in with everything. Everything is all melded together. What does that do? Out in the open. Oh yeah! 5+ cover save. Everything has more than half of its squad melded in and covered behind anything else. So you spread this one little platoon out, you could cover 12 inches from one side to the other, and you could easily cover 24 inches from one side to the other. Out in the open, and you've got yourself a 5+ cover save platoon that can just march forward, get orders, and bring down death. You want to make it even more powerful, stick a primary cycler in the middle. You've got your Lord Commissar mixed in with all of this. You got your Commissar mixed in with all of this. You stick your Lord Commissar smack bang in the middle. He is automatically within 6 inches of everything, of the platoon command, the conscripts, the regular infantry. Automatically, what you've done is you've made all of them reroll failed morale, pinning and fear tests because of the Lord Commissar. You've got a psyker that is covered. You've got a platoon command squad that can give out orders, and you've got a 5+ cover save in the open, marching an entire platoon across the field. Even if you want to keep still, and you can't afford the points for the Aegis defence line. But most weapons will annihilate infantry quite easily because they're only toughness 3 with armour save 5+. A lot strips the armour off of an Imperial Guardsman. Meld in your units as a tactic, and you give themselves all a 5+ cover save. Very handy. There is, I'd say, a hell of a lot of tactics that you could use with Imperial Guard infantry. Obviously you strip out this entire platoon across a massive open space in front of your entire army and march them forwards. Very cheap platoon. Do it 2 or 3 times. Have this one platoon spread out across your army, and then have a second wave, and then have a third wave. And if you just want to run infantry, and you're lucky enough to roll Grand Strategist as your Warlord trait, outflank up to D3. Okay, 1, 2 or 3. You have one platoon outflank on the left or the right, don't matter which, and then deep strike your Militarum Tempestus. So say they outflanked on the right, deep strike your Militarum Tempestus in the far corner. You have a 3-pronged attack. You get 2. You're lucky enough to get both sides outflanking and Militarum Tempestus behind them. You've boxed them in. You have 3. You're going to have 2 platoons one side, or 3 platoons one side. Massed bulk attack. Imperial Guard all of a sudden aren't a squishy little weak army anymore. It's a death squad. Now I know full well that there is a lot more tactics that you can use for a single platoon. There is a hell of a lot more tactics you can use for a single platoon. Obviously, if you can think of any that I haven't mentioned, write them down in the comments. Alright. Take it easy. Good gaming.